Welcome back. It's still TV3 New Day. Let's move away from politics and talk some education, because we are about to discuss something that has to do with tertiary education. When it comes to tertiary education, especially here in Ghana, there are several concerns with the fact that what we learn in school is usually very different from what you meet on the job market. There are concerns about us, prioritizing practicals in our various universities and tertiary institutions. And we don't really get that. And especially when around times like this, when COVID has happened, where we are looking at who will be very innovative to come up with something that we need for ourselves. So it's important that we discuss education. And this morning I have been joined in studio by Professor Fred McBagonluri. Help me.
McBagonluri.
He is the president of the Academic City University College. And you need to know about Academic City University College. If you are yet to go to the tertiary institution, that should be your preferred choice. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so honored to be speaking with you. I've been admiring you from afar.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tell me about the journey with Academic City College.
So we've been around for about 3 years now. We're going into our third admission cycle. It's going very well. We have about 150 students, enthusiastic students running around campus. We have received over 300 applications now for the upcoming semester. It's very hands-on environment, as you indicated earlier in your opening remarks. Mm-hmm. Kids are touching stuff, feeling stuff, building stuff, making mistakes, fixing mistakes. Mm-hmm. So it's a very innovative, entrepreneurial, hands-on type environment where we are trying to re-envision what tertiary education really ought to be.
There must be something you're trying to fix, what tertiary education is really has to be. So what do you make of the current situation we have?
So the challenge we have is that, and it's a global challenge, mm-hmm. we're at a point in human history where we need more thinkers, more innovators, more doers, more entrepreneurs. In fact, intellect is in demand. And what we see in the market today are people graduating from universities and they can't even find jobs. Because somehow we've reconfigured our education to feel like you are only given some tools and that you have to go out there and have a top up for you. But that is not true. You need to be in an environment where kids do not have access to internships, among other things. You need to create and mimic an industry type environment within the confines of the university. And that's what we seem to be doing quite well at.
Does it have to do with the courses you're offering?
So yes and no. The yes part is that we are focused at the cutting edge type technologies. We're talking about technologies that you are going to need to thrive in this fourth industrial revolution.
Right.
So we are interested at the interface, not just the courses. We are interested at the interface between artificial intelligence, robotics, and biomedicals. Mm-hmm. So on one end, it is the niche area that we are playing in. The second aspect, obviously, is how we are delivering this in a hands-on, laboratory-type environment where students get to experience what it really means to take knowledge into industry and to turn it into products that will impact people's lives.
I'm interested in the courses you're offering so that I can relate with the practical aspect of it.
So we offer engineering. We have a full portfolio of engineering courses in mechanical, electrical, telecoms, computer engineering, and then we have the communication arts, which we just talked about, JIJ. Mm-hmm. So we have mass comm and journalism, and we have PR and advertising. Then on the business side, on the business side, we have accounting, finance, HR, marketing, and then we have IT and computer science as well.
Okay, so let's look at journalism.
Sure.
So you have what is a practical? I was lucky while I was in school. I was combining internship here with school, so you get opportunity to have some practical. What do you do in terms of
the practical aspect of it?
Journalism?
So we actually operate on 4 key pillars at Academic City College, which is experiential, contextual, unify, and extensional. So if I take Unify, for instance, at the end of every semester, all our students get to work on one single project. So in groups of interdisciplinary group of students, so you have a mass comm person on that team, you have a marketing person on that team, you have an engineer on that team, And the job of that mass comm person on this project is how do you articulate the value proposition of such a product to a would-be customer.
Okay.
So you don't have to be an engineer to be able to describe this. You actually have to, how do you describe this to mom and pop who do not understand engineering or science?
Absolutely.
And that's the role of this journalism person and the public relations person on the team. We have some of us, one of our students, for instance, did an internship with Kwame Sefa Kaye, that's actually the daughter. So we ensure that at least 60 to 80% of our students, even first-year students, go out there and do some internship. And we either help you to do it or you go on your own. And for us to help you do it, which means you sign up for our 7-seminar series, we train you how to dress properly, how to speak properly, how to write a good CV, how to talk to folks when you go for your open houses, and how to write a nice thank you note to a potential employer. So we are quite deliberate about what we do and how we do it.
Because you know what the job market expects of students. Okay.
Exactly. So look, you see, you look at our educational system, and fundamentally there are two main components of an educational system. We call it a system for a purpose. There's a deterministic aspect of it, and then there's a stochastic aspect of it. So we are not doing good on both. We're doing okay, but we're not doing good. I say we're doing okay because we're all products of this system. But things are changing. The world is so dynamic. Things are changing, and we ought to reconfigure it differently. So we need to make sure that the kids are going out there with an experience from the university that they can apply to work from day one. Now, yesterday, somebody called me and said, you know, how come industry doesn't seem to be interested in hiring people from the universities? I said, because they don't see the value proposition in them. People hire you so that you can add to their bottom line. You just don't hire people because they are tall and cute.
Right.
So once we can make industry see the value of the students that we're giving to them, then this conversation about unemployment begins to take a backseat.
So I'm told your students are working on some life-changing projects. I'm interested.
Yes, yes. So at the beginning of COVID, which was somewhere around March, I basically sent a call out to would-be volunteers to come and help build a ventilator. Because at the time, all we knew then was that we only had 67 ventilators in the country. Obviously, there were some that were broken down, but we had 67. And so the students came in. These were mostly second-year engineering students, male, female, and some external volunteers. And we started basically looking at what we call the non-invasive aspects of ventilation, which is basically the one that has the face mask. We've gotten through that now. We're looking at phase 2, which is the intubulation, where under critical conditions of care, they actually insert the tubes all the way into your lungs to provide some aeration. So that's where we are right now with our project.
You built this from scratch?
We built this from scratch with local materials completely. And the thinking was that once the borders are shut, even if you have money, you will not be able to buy these things, you know? So how can we come up with local materials, things that are readily available, so that we can assemble a system that can bring relief in the event that COVID got out of hand.
And these are Ghanaian students?
These are Ghanaian students, second-year students.
They're not even final-year students?
They're not even final-year students.
Your programs are 4 years, all of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
That's interesting. So in this COVID era, how are you ensuring teaching and learning?
So obviously, we went home when the 9th case was reported, and within a week, we had transitioned all our teachings online. So we are in an fully online mode right now, supporting our students the best way we can with data, getting them to do projects from wherever they are. And so this is the new normal. The new normal is that tertiary education will go on, but we need to find innovative ways to deliver it. And COVID, more than anything else, tells us that we have to be more ready than we've ever been. And if you have too many students, it's not going to be possible to deliver an online experience for them.
It is interesting. I'm interested in the practical aspect, the fact that because there's a huge disconnect.
Yes.
I mean, fresh graduates from the university are unable to fit in because they are used to theory and they don't know what the practical is. So I'm excited that Academic CC is looking at the practical aspect. So what do you see Academic CC in the next 5 years?
So we have been quite deliberate about the type of talent that we bring on board. Most of the people that work with me at the leadership position are people that have actually gone out into industry and have real life experience. So bringing this interface to higher ed has been quite easy for them. I mean, you can't be practical if you haven't lived and experienced it. So I think in the next 5 years, Academic City is going to be the institution that when you decide to send your kids to school, will bubble up to the top. That is really the vision. That will be playing top tier, that your kids are going to get the same level of experience that they will get if they were to go to MIT, Harvard, Princeton, or Yale. And that if we can do that, then we also get to keep the best talent that African can have at home. There is nowhere else in the world today where innovation is much needed than in Africa. And if we can keep that talent here, we'll continue to reshape the narrative for Africa.
Absolutely. And another question that my director is asking me to ask you is that, are you affordable?
Well, affordability is relative. I would say that, look, every year we try to give 10 full presidential scholarships to African students. Most of them so far have been Ghanaians. And that is worth $40,000 a piece. But with all the equipment that we have,
scholarships as well.
Yes, we give 10 scholarships every year to deserving students. We just extended an offer to the National Science and Math Quiz winners from PRESEC.
Oh wow!
Yes. So, affordability is relative, but we believe that we are way, way, way cheaper than most of the other institutions around the world that can deliver the level of quality that we offer. So paying $5,000 for an engineering education in Ghana in the confines of home versus paying $40,000 or $80,000 to go to a school in the US, I think, relatively speaking, we're quite affordable.
Well, we are wrapping up. Yesterday, the president announced that tertiary education, will resume in January 2021. What do you say to parents who are yet to decide on where to take their students?
So, I think Academic City has proven in the last couple of months that we are your partners of choice. And that if the future is going to be about practicalizing education, where employers will be comfortable absorbing graduates, knowing that they will deliver to their bottom line, then your partner is Academic City College. I think we are offering a value proposition where the president is able to look into parents' home eyes and say, look, give me your kid and I'll turn them into superstars. So we have an environment where your kid will be known not by their index numbers, but by their first name. And we are going to work with them strategically, to ensure that they get the quality education that they deserve, and that a mind is a terrible thing to lose.
If you were offering any other thing aside the undergraduates, I would have come to offer a few there, but it's okay. Maybe in the near future.
Yes, you will come soon. Thank you.
Prof. Fred McBagonluri is the president of Academic City University College. I want to encourage you this morning to call them. Let me just put the number out there: 026 2693 870. 026 2693 870. Academic City College is located at Hacho here in Accra. It should be your preferred choice if you are yet to go to the tertiary institution. I want to encourage you. We'll be back with more. Entertainment is next with Ms. G. Don't go away.